Alright. I think we're good to go. What's up, everybody? How are we doing this week? Oh, son of a biscuit. One moment, please. Oh. Such a bad streamer. I don't think that's going to fall over. What's up, everybody? I'm Scruff Dog, and you're on board my Titan laptop, which I guess is basically now just the streaming station. Oh, where are we at here? There we go. Got some green tea. Having a pretty okay weekend so far. Let's see who's hanging out. Of course, we got the early crew, Phil in the Kitchen Gas Master and Joe Russ. Ferber popping in and out as he does during the day, and now he's here to hang out and help. Thank you as usual. I saw Dave was from Spectrum DI was in here. Liz Edwards, Queen of Fire, welcome. Kevin Hardesty is here. There's Rob Worrell. Blockwatcher is in. Let's see, there's Rifleman. Esther. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Esther Byrne. I'm really not awesome with names. But either way, welcome. Sorry if I'm horrible with your name. Okay, Burn. Word. Thank you. So welcome, everybody, to the, it might be an interesting stream, but before we get to that, let's begin with a toast, a cheers. I have a vape. This is Sour Tsunami. Nice hybrid, cannabis hybrid. Saying cheers backwards. There you go, that's my Ukraine flag deal. What's up, Colin? So, cheers and thoughts for those stuck in a shit-ass ward. Slava Ukraini. Let's get started with our stream. So, cheers. And cheers. Alright. Let's see. Any updates? I'm calling this week to see about getting a neurologist for Jeff the cat. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, or well, I probably did if you weren't here. He is now back on all his seizure medications because as we weaned him off of the phenobarbital, he's had 2 more seizures within like a day. So now I'm gonna call and see how much that costs because he's gonna have to get an MRI. So that's the Jeff update, and I'll keep you posted on anything else. Oh, and if those of you remember Tiny Mama getting her shoulder surgery like a few months ago, like she's golden, she's fine. Most of her hair has grown back, but she still like leads into petting with her shoulder because I'm sure it's still a little itchy. Let's see. How did he get the name Jeff? Well, after Tiny Mama had her babies, she had 4 kittens. It had been like half hour, 45 minutes. She was very skinny now, so we thought we were all done. And she was in her little nest that we made her, and I checked like another hour later or so, and I went, there's a 5th one now. So we just had someone randomly pick a name, and they chose Jeffrey. And now it's just basically just Jeff, or Jeff, the big guy. or sometimes the bigger guy, because he gets a little bigger sometimes, but he's awesome. He's just a big fluff ball. He loves everybody. So he's a good guy. He's just got it rough right now, but we'll sort it out. I think Trent's down here. She was a little while ago, but she's probably sleeping. Trent's the black cat. She is named after Trent Reznor, my favorite musician from Nine Inch Nails and other projects. So, what are we doing today? We're going to drink some tea, because I'm kind of thirsty. Well, this is just another big red button. This one's only rated for 24 volts, but it's rated for 24 volts at 150 amps. So that may be something fun to play with. I just need something to kind of like fill in, for the preview. Some tools, good. Smart wrench is always good to have around, because you want to make sure everything fits right. Meter, and this thing, tools, stuff. Alright, so here's the deal with the welder. Yesterday, when I took it out of the case and had it down on the bench, I noticed a little tiny baby spider crawled out of it, and I went, okay, whatever, took care of that. And then like a moment later, 2 more crawled out, and I went, oh, okay. Took care of that, and then another moment later, another one crawled out, and I went, nope. So I threw it into a trash bag, sealed it up, and threw it in the deep freezer. So it might be pure nightmare fuel inside the welder if there's a egg sac that has gone, and there's a million spider webs, and possibly a mama spider. I know the deep freezer isn't necessarily going to finish them off, but I can't have an entire nest popping in the house. So the plan is I will retrieve the welder, quickly take it apart. I think I only got to pop 4 screws and maybe a knob or something to get a cover off. We'll see what's inside. Take care of any possible issues. Because even if they're not done, they'll just like cold and hibernating or whatever. They may be one of the things that have like antifreeze in their blood. I don't know, but we're gonna have to take care of that. I normally wouldn't, I just let them go, but like I said, I can't have that in the house. So that's gonna be the plan. And then since it's been in the freezer, even though it's been sealed, there's probably gonna be some moisture condensation, yada yada. So we're going to use my Rick and Morty fan. If you can see it's from the season 2 DVD in one of the episodes, and then on the back. Just made that for the office. But we'll use the fan to blow air on it while it's open after we clean it up to help equalize temperature and keep condensation from building up as it's moving the air. And we will take apart this little nugget. This is my washing machine switch. My washing machine started skipping the rinse cycle, and I figured I would take it apart to take a sneak peek, and there's something to look at in there for sure, so I just kind of snapped it back together. And if we get really bored, I have a coworker's battery, which I need to change, well, obviously replace that cell and change the cell above it, as they were both at 0 volts. These are 21700 cells. I've already charged these 2 up to 4.12 volts to match the rest of them. So if we need to kill some time, we'll try not to blow that up. That's like a $200 battery that he wanted me to see if I can fix. So I'm actually, when I repair it, I'm going to solder it, because I haven't practiced on the spot welder yet, though now I have a battery for it. 51 series car battery, like pretty popular in like small Hondas, small cars. So, here. This So this was in a unit that we were scrapping at work, and I saw that that was the production date on it, and I went, that'll be just fine for the spot welder, even though it was dead. But I charged it back up, seems to be doing just fine, and all I'm going to be using it for is spot welding battery terminals, so shouldn't be a big deal. Let's see what's going on with chat. Tra-la-la. I can hear you. Good, good, good. Actually, you know what? Let me shuffle windows around. That way, if I'm reading, let me put chat over here. That would make more sense. That way. I'm kind of looking at the camera. Whoa, easy cowboy. When I'm trying to look at chat. What I did last week, that worked out pretty good. Alright, hey, what's up, Chronic Gaming? Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, Dave, we are, or Mr. Spectrum, we are hoping that at the very least he starts to get a little more used to the medicine, but that is going to take a while if, you know, he kind of gets used to it. I feel he kind of was before we started to wean him off, so he might get better. Or we may just get things figured out once we get to a neurologist. Alright, let's see. Let's see, that's going to be on the side. That's going to clear the deck in preparation. Because look, let me just kind of summarize it this way. I don't want to open my welder up and like come strolling out. You know what I mean? That's all we need. Why there's do-it-yourself kits from like Five Below. It's neat. Except I doubled the battery on it to make it really scramble. Alright, so I know this thing takes a T25. I wanted to make sure the tools I had would be able to open it up so I didn't have to like run out to my truck in the middle of the stream. So it was a T25, that's the handle for it. I also had this, in case it's too tight, I don't want to break that, because that's a decent handle. So, get everything out of the way. And I'll be back in a second. You can yeah, I'll be right there's the freezer. So it won't be a far trip. Oh, right, hold on. Just in case I gotta squish stuff by hand, I don't want to be all gross and icky. And I should probably get some paper towels. We might be going deep, folks. Alright, let me grab some paper towels just in case. Alright, time to grab the welder. There we go. Let's see. Is there any evidence of anybody like making a run for it? Nope. Okay. there. These stickers are like about 15, well, let's see, 2003. I'll give you a tour of the stickers after it's declared safe. Hey, look at that, schematic. Or some basic. Okay. However, I cannot see into the fan duct. So let's see if we can get this off. I mean, it is entirely possible that, woo, easy killer. Those spiders just happen to be there. I looked in the case. I didn't see any in the case, but the case is also one of them big hollow jimmy joints that if something gets in there, like it's in a like luxury apartment at that point. I don't know how that separates. Are these clips? These look like. Ooh, sorry if that's noisy. These look like clips. Knobby off of there. I feel like I may have taken this apart at some point in my life, but I don't remember. Not seeing any evidence of spiders though. Let me look. See if I can see into the coils. Nothing there. There. I'm not seeing anything. Maybe those spiders were a coincidence, or maybe there's some other spider web around here. Alright. I feel like I would see more spiders. Unless they're in here somewhere, but I'm not. I feel like there would be more evidence, you know what I mean? So I think we're alright. If not, then surprise later on. Alright. So that thing is frozen. So let us move the spider. Move my T. Let's get the fan on high. Thaw this out a little bit. And go from there. Let's see. I think I need this. Backup insecticide, no, but I got like various horrible aerosols. And super glue for hilarity. This over here. Now let's see what we can see here. Let's see what you can see. I guess I should say, see what you can see here. Let me get the zoom box. Alright. A little bit of a glare. Let me zoom. Can I zoom? Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom. Boom, boom. No, what, keep going? Like, keep going. Keep going. Wow, really? So much zoom. Huh. That sucks. Hey, you know what? Okay, that one wants to be a butthead. Let's zoom out. The focus is like, what in the hell? Let's get the wackadoo cam here. Close that. Blam. Let's see what kind of view we can get with this. Hook that. Shaky cam. Like you really can't. It's just very fine writing. But it's basically, it's a very rough, I would call it a wiring diagram. Kind of schematic, a little hybrid of both in there. But that's cool. Alright. Oh, there we go. Wow, look at my nerves. There's a serial number. And that right there. That's important. Alright. Let's see here. What are we doing? Down both. Alright. So there's the case. Can't really see the schematic. So I'm just going to set that on the side. And while that's thawing out, hey Franco. Like there is condensation building up, but it's pretty dry in the house, so that should take care of itself relatively easily. Fit 4 screws and the knob. Alright, put it in. So, while that's thawing, we have this. Let's see what's up with chat. First, there's Franco again. What's up? Need a mini Mavis to fly in. No, they do. They have a bunch of minis out there. Hey, what's up, Tony? Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna have a sip it too. Let me put that back up. Have a sip of tea. So, I have a Maytag Atlantis washing machine. It came with the house when I bought my house. Apparently, well, this switch for it was made in the 48th week of 2010. And the focus isn't horrible, but there's the date code on these. Which lines up because I bought the house in, what, 2012? Or something, I don't know, I forget. But anyway, so this is the factory switch, and a couple weeks ago I thought I noticed that it skipped the rinse cycle. So maybe it was a glitch, so I just reset everything and it worked fine. Well, it turns out the next day the same thing happens. The machine skipped a rinse cycle, ran it again, it was run again, and everything was fine. So I said, okay, well maybe there's something bad in the switch, like on the regular settings. So I tried like colors and then delicates, and no matter where you put it, it was skip the rinse cycle unless you pop the lid, like let go of the current that was going through it. So I saw these, thought that was ridiculous because in the schematic for the washer, it's not much in this switch. That explains itself when it comes apart. So anyway, got the new switch, put it in, everything seems to be fine. And I popped this switch apart, like I cut that weld, because it was like the easiest thing to get to, you know, out of all this of where to start taking it apart. And I figured it would I get to see all this mess and what was going on here. Boy howdy. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on this one because this shit's awesome. Well, I mean, not so awesome because this shit was in my house, but I think you know what I mean. Okay. Zoom. I don't feel like there's much zoom there. And how is our focus? We're on 45. Enhance. Whoa, 55 bad. 40, pretty good. 47. 43 for now. Alright. So check this shit out. Any spiders in the bag? Nah, there was no spiders in the bag. So, oh wait, yeah. So I cut that little heat stake off, pop these two little clips. Check this shit out. That's the first thing I saw. So this is the cam, come to find out, for this mess. Look at this shit. So all these pins are all common up and down. And as this cam spins, kind of like a music box, you can see the different gears and nubs in it. It just pushes against these little nubs. Right here, I know it's out of focus. Oh, that's a little better. Right there. As it goes up and down, it's activating different cycles and making connections in here. And there's the wrench cycle. It has melted and burned. So you notice your cycles are getting a little weird. You might want to take a look, because at one point this did throw a breaker when it went into rinse, and I think it welded contacts and probably dead shorted the motor out, which is awesome. But yeah, that was neat to find. But besides that, like, obviously, as the saying goes, there's your problem, lady. But that's how this thing switches all its cycles. As far as I can tell, it is, yeah, if it's down, it is not activated. But when it's up, or I'm sorry, this bottom row is common power. And then these terminals, these top two are common. And then when it comes down, it hits this one, which is the bottom row. Actually, if you look, kind of hard to see, actually, I'm sorry, it's not, we're learning. There's actually a contact right there and a contact right there. So this is one direction, other direction. These aren't common together. Wow, this is just that many fucking cam switches in here. I don't know if you can see the little, there it is, yeah, right in there. You see these two little squares? There's your, that's the contact pads. Now, and how's the sound, by the way? I'm using this microphone as opposed to these two, I think. Which two am I using? I'm using that one, yeah. Sound is fine, spot on audio. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me pull the properties back up then. Okay. So yeah, that's a hell of a thing right there. And it just burned off one of the contacts. And this one I think is welded. Yeah, actually. This is now a welded contact. Whereas on this one, it's the rinse cycle one, it's these two right here that are right here. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Wow. What's up, Trinity? That's just Trent. Hold on. You going, girl? Cancel that. Go to. Well, T-cam. Ooh, that's my T. You want to hang out for poo on the 32? Now you just want to go into everywhere you're not supposed to be. Poo on the 32 will wait. That's my T. She likes to drink tea. Alright. Hey, Trinity. So we're going to have a cat break. So I guess if you have a cat, go pet him. That's kind of dirty, buddy. That's probably dirty too. Oh, kitty cats. She's very slippery. Her fur is very slick. We think she secretly uses moisturizer. Don't eat the mouse. Well, I mean, you're a cat. I mean, I get it, but don't. Watch your eyes. Like you're cuddling against all thread. She's a good kitty. Easy. Sometimes they lean, when you're petting them, they lean so hard against your hand that if you stop petting them, they'll fall. I guess let's have a toast to kitty cats. Where's the camera? Yeah, I have green crack as well. This is a sativa. So let's have a toast to kitties until we get our bench back. So, kitty cats. If you look at my YouTube channel banner, most people don't notice because she does blend in a lot, but she's the cat that's on the with the 3D printer. She was asleep down here in the window for a couple hours yesterday. Glad the soldering iron is turned off with kitties around. In case it hasn't been stated, kitties get priority on the channel. Alright, let's see. What's the welder doing? Still wet, but it's drying off. It's warming up. That's good. So we may just, once we get our bench back, we'll start taking a look at that. I just don't know how long that's going to take. She's settling in. What we got here? What's... Okay. Does she know? She was the second of her litter. And she is basically a small panther. She is a big, long kitty cat. She's the largest cat we have overall. Not the heaviest, but the largest. Her tail's like 4 feet long. You good? I think she's good. Alright. Wow. Trunk is definitely here. Sweet. Alright, so we had a cat break. I guess let's get back to it a little bit, and then we'll do a delayed poo, since we had a cat break. What are we doing here? The switch. Yeah, we already saw that issue there. That's really all that is, and then you got the motor that just drives it, you know, as it goes. And where does that plug in? Ah, that plugs into these extra terminals right there. I guess so that it knows it uses that to power them up. I wonder if that's a 120 volt motor. Probably is. The schematics are in the washer, which is always nice. I don't know if they do that with modern appliances anymore, but the schematics are actually in the appliance if you take it apart. Dishwasher was the same way. I think my dryer as well. Oh yeah, that's what we were looking at. The welded contact. Right there. Let's see if we can separate that. You can kinda see it. I think, oh no, like plastic broke. Nope. Alright. Now, there it is. Let's see. Obviously, this isn't going to be fixed. I have no way to replace those contacts. You can barely, it was barely welded. Like, you can kind of see that shiny corner. Barely just on there. The one next to it was even in worse shape, but wasn't welded. But probably was welded at one point, which is probably what caused the dead short to throw the breaker off. Alright. Well, that's a interesting way to do that, because I can't imagine that these things aren't going to have enough of a drag behind them to just pull that arc when it goes to break the contacts. Because the bitch of it is quote-unquote simple or quote-unquote complicated as this is. This whole unit goes anywhere from $150 to $300. Let me look into... I wonder if they sell just this. Let me look into that, because this part's fine. I mean, I can clean up the charcoal. That ain't a big deal. Woo! Is that supposed to happen? Yeah, I think so. Is it plug in? I'll have to watch the video, see how that popped out. Alright, anyway. So there's the debacle with the washing machine. See what's up with chat. Supervisor said, no, I'm out. Yes. She has other things to check on. She went to go check on her brother and her nemesis. I've got a brand new one. 3 months later, started doing the same thing. Yeah. You never know, it might be that switch, especially if it's newish, because anything like newish at this point is cheap. They just don't make them like they used to. And that's pretty bad when that even applies now to 2010 stuff. Like, holy crap. Alright. We'll do the PmEDT so that we can get to this welder. I'm not seeing any spiders appearing, so that's also good. Well, let's see what we got. I'm going to get these sides off. I think it's just plastic clips right there. So let me try small flathead. See if I can separate it without destroying it. Hey. Okay, let's look in the wind tunnel for spiders. There's a bright flat. There it is. I'm gonna get this shirt too dirty. This is my capsation shirt. It's a capsation molecule, not a pot molecule, like everyone assumes. I see no evidence spiders stuff on this end. Okay. Let's see. That's fine. Okay. And this one. Don't break, just disconnect. Cool. Alright. The one on the bottom, two's on top. Alright. So all we have here is just a power switch, ground. Lots of ground, everything's grounded. And this is the plug I currently have on it, as it fits in my garage plug that I installed. I have one plug that you use it either to power the welder, or you can plug my generator into it to backfeed the house. But don't ever do that unless you know exactly what you're doing, because if you don't throw the right breakers, you'll backfeed the entire neighborhood and just blow shit up. Well, blow your shit up. Alright, so we don't need that. That's annoying. Let's see. It's holding this. plastic push pin. See any spiders in there? Don't see any in there. I see any over here either. Alright, so either that was a coincidence or they're like in the case. How far can we go in this dissection before I get nervous? Well, I'll tell you what, it's more complicated than I thought it would be. Let's see if we can figure out what we got here. Does this come off? Okay. Let me check for spiders. No evidence of spiders. Alright. Let me see if I can pop this off the same way I did the other one. Just take this out of the equation, maybe. Everything's wet and shit. Okay. Front. There's an F there. I see that for front, and then rear with the fan. So you got fan direction. Oh, it also has heatsink and coil, so that when you're down here, it lines up with the heatsinks and the coils. Nice. Alright. Heard some tinkle noises. Oh, this looks just dirt. Alright. I'm not going to take the front cover off because that's like, I gotta unbolt shit to do that. And that might be a little more than I'm comfortable with, as I do plan on using this more. But I think we can see a pretty decent amount of stuff. Let's see here. So, this is a DC welder. When welding, it's a 28 volt output. What's up, Mr. A-Cake? Well, I was thinking you could hope to determine you get interesting beats. Fred, hello. But, so this puts out 28 volts, up to 150 amps. If you plug it into, like, 220, 230, 240 single phase, that will go up to 150. If you plug it into 120 volts, you can get it up to about 20 amps. The 120 volt side is kind of flaky because you have to have up to 30 amps available and a very short and very powerful extension cord, or it just kind of doesn't want to do it. But on 240 it generally works alright, except for the other day when everything was just kind of weird. So we'll see what we can come in here, see what we can clean up, like unplug, plug stuff back in, take a look at what we got in here, and just take a look. You can already see a programming port. I don't know if you can, oh yeah, I'm sure you can see that right there. Be careful when I pick this up, because the whole thing is conformal coated, which is good, considering it's all wet right now. But let's turn this over. Look at the back of the board. Oh, that's got a screw through it, really? Some of the back of the board. If there's any kind of a date on this stuff. Stickers. Nothing obvious on those stickers as far as a date code goes. Chunky ground planes, though. Tracks. really thick, like that's almost like a silicone conformal coating. In the cooling duct, we have these transformers, or I'm sorry, heat sinks for, I'm guessing there's some wicked ass MOSFETs in there. And up here we have our coil, our transformers, multiple transformers, multiple heavy gauge transformers, and the fan. Yeah, generally speaking, when you're welding with this, when you hear the fan come on, stop as quickly as you can. Like, don't go holy shit, but, you know, finish your weld and stop. Let it run, let it cool off. It's really not like, I mean, this is a small 150 amp welder. It is not meant for constant duty cycle in any shape or form. Is that supposed to be loose? Probably, yeah. Just kind of held in by the case. Alright, let's see, let me get the zoom box back over here. Let me put a rag on it. Come on. Oh, you can do it anytime. Oh, that was heavy. Alright, there's a drill sitting on top of it. Alright. Just because there's delicate circuit boards and stuff. Alright, hey, look at that. Yeah, it's kind of focused too. Holy shit. There's that. That looks like a programming port. So there is definitely more to this welder than just stepping up, stepping down, and stepping out. Sorry, my bad. There's a lot of chippies in here. Alright, let's just unplug some stuff. Always good connect, reconnect. It's got some gooey stuff in it, that's good. What is this button? I'll take it up, that's that. Oh, that was easy. I hate when stuff unplugs super easy. Everything's got goop on it, that's good. Seems like it's all still in pretty decent shape. Some of this, that's kind of dried out. Not horrible though. Not this. These are all the coil connections I'm unplugging. Doesn't look like any of them are overheated. It's a little different looking. It's funny. There's some more light. You can see there are many little chippies in here. And that's just the little guys. These two big ass capacitors. These are 250 volts, 1500 microfarads. Ow. I just headbutt you. I did. My bad. Let's see here. It's what was that? Yeah, a little transformer. I'm guessing this is probably for control voltages. There's a packed in plug. I wonder if that's for the TIG functions. That I would suspect is for programming some of these boards. That might be for if you have the TIG function. Let's see what else we have here. We got mains coming in. We got two Y2 class protection capacitors. Another capacitor. That's a, what are those? Choke coils? Is that what they call them things? Interference coils. That's probably a relay. Or fuse? Yeah, there's a 100 ohm resistor. That, I'm guessing, is probably inrush. Maybe. Some more big fucking resistors. Big ass capacitors. I'm looking for the diode pack. I don't think. That's only got 2. What is this? Oh, that's a capacitor. That's a X2 protection capacitor. We got Y2s and X2s. The difference is what X2s go across the lines and Y2s go to ground. Does that sound right? Scruff Dog, is it obvious where the output coil is? Was it those 2 really fat copper coils, or is there a DC feed for polarized TIG and MIG work? Interesting. MIG, this can't do MIG at all. Doesn't have the capability, so I would assume it's a different board. They do use this exact one for a TIG option as well. That's why I'm guessing that's what that is for, but I am not sure. Output coil would be right here. So, because this is your output leads. There. So this is your output coil, which is, tip this up, this big guy right there. And let's see. No, actually, where's that one going? Oh, yeah, okay. So the ground is going to this board here. Oh, wow, this is really zooming. So the ground, is that the ground? No, I'm sorry, the positive cable is going to this board here, and the ground is going to that big ass coil right there. I'm guessing it selects various coils, like it might probably something in, wow, this is really zoomed in. I'm guessing in this setup here, I wonder if it uses one or both, depending on if it's single phase or I'm sorry, depending on if it's 240 or 110. That's a solid looking coil. That's pretty. Everything's wet. That's the only issue, really. Well, there's no spiders yet. Look down it this way. Yeah, I can see all the way down through the fins. What do we got here? One of your connectors looks a little cooked. What do you think? Let's see here. It's pretty good. So I don't want to move too much. Solid. I'll go ahead and plug that back in. Well, actually, let's leave this open for a second. Not sure what you would need these resistors for. Maybe that's for noise or something, or maybe that's what's going across these big fuckers. This has a ton of conformal coating on it. I'm guessing the main purpose would be to keep just the metal and the, you know, as you're welding, all the flashing is going to be nearby. Looks alright in that. The stuff just kind of dried up a little bit on. There's no evidence of warmth. That is, I think that's for the potentiometer, maybe? Or where's the... Yeah, it's for the potentiometer, so that's probably not going to see much current on it anyway. That's just dried goo. There are many. Let me see if See if this camera will be able to give us or give you any kind of a better view here. Drop my glasses down the toilet. Putting them in the dishwasher isn't a good idea, is it? Just keep heat dry turned off. Let me switch views. Let's see what you can. Wow, it's overexposed the shit out of that, huh? A lot of little ICs in that dude. Timing crystal. Not seeing anything that jumps out. Being the head mamma jamma. Except for, I'm guessing it's going to be that one right there. I'm guessing these just go straight over to there. You plug in the microscope. What time is it? Oh, it's almost, we're going to do poo at the 2. Oh, shit. Go. Where the hell is it? There. Alright. Oh, the fan. The fan. Hello? Holy shit. That's right. It's the pile driver. Alright. We're all crazy here. It's fine. Any emails? Maybe. Yeah, I think we're okay. Alright, let's have a quick cheers to... Trent is heading upstairs. Cheers to projects. Cheers to engineers that don't suck. Cheers to having the right camera view up. Oh, that's right, I forgot this one does have a face cam on. Alright. What view are we going for here? Big head intro. Big head. Alright, you stick this back up top. Like I know what I'm doing or some bullshit. Bam. Something there. Okay. Alright, there you are. What were we gonna cheers to? Oh yeah, cheers to engineers. The ones that care and the ones that actually think about the technicians. So, cheers everybody. And Jeff. Hey, what's up, Sean? How you doing, bud? If anyone remembers, Sean was in one or two of our streams with his drone at the power station. And I haven't heard any updates on that yet. I'll check with my buddy, see if he's heard anything, but I think at this point we're just waiting for him to take him down. Yeah, I have, where am I? There. That's just a red, one of the smaller galleon boards, and that's the flag I made skeletally. Ish. And all the resistors in there. Can't really see what's going on in the back anymore because it's been all liquid taped up, but that tiny little bit of exposed is ground. And that little tiny bit of exposed is positive, but you can only charge it with it turned on. So you just kind of charge it for a little while and let it do its thing. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, those two are spot on, huh? This thing runs for days because I couldn't find, oh, now they're a little bit off, because I just couldn't find a smaller cell, flat pack cell. So this thing runs forever. Alright, back to the shoe. I'm going for about an hour, that's not too bad. Alright, what else can we figure out, look at in here, poke about? Where, oh, we're at Big Head. There we go. So lots of control shit. There's your current shunt right in there. Current meter is for the current meter, so I can read. Because you got to remember when this thing's welding, it's, you know, like say you have it set for 100 amps. It's now trying to control basically a dead short and regulate it to 100 amps. So that's going to be the main current sensor there. And that goes right to, yeah, that's the positive connection. The positive goes to there, and then the ground goes down into the coil itself. And then the rest of the coils are just just connected through the cables. Sorry. Almost take that apart. Yeah, well, I can do this at least. Move the fan out of the way. I'm not going to split that anymore. There you go. Get the flashlights. The box. Buzzing. No spiders. Lots of signatures, which is cool. That means it was actually hand-checked by humans, not just assumed by robots. Hey, easy, fan. Easy, fan. Blows towards the wire. Oh yeah, that wouldn't line up right anyway. Alright, I guess let's go ahead and plug some stuff in. What else? I guess anybody got any questions about whatever? I feel like this was kind of like, meh. I do like how it has a lot. It is interesting that all the interference on the input, I think, is mostly there to protect the output more than anything. But I'm surprised by the amount of control circuitry in it. I didn't think it'd be quite that in depth. That's kind of cool. Guess I should plug everything back in, huh? Click, click, unplug that, and plug it back in, click, plug that back in, just did that one. Alright, so everything's plugged back in there. Really not much to like clean off. The positive is actually, wow, riveted, screwed in somehow. Oh wow. Got a really deep set Torx bit in it. And that, I wonder if that Torx bit I have is big enough. Where is it? Do we know where the Torx bit went? You can hardly see it. There's a trophy. Check once upstairs. That is. There we go. Alright. Let's see. I guess it's in the screwdriver still? There we go. Derpy-doo. What was that? How long did you stay at the hammock hike? I left. What time did I leave there? About 6:30 I started walking away. So like another, let's see, I stopped broadcasting, I guess, what, 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that. So like another bunch of hours. Oh, come on, break free, but don't break my screwdriver. Oh, I don't trust that. Oh, okay, we might be able to reach it with these. That is super tight. I don't want to strip it out using a cheap tool. Shite. Well, I mean, that was just to try and pull the cover off. I think we will let that go then. Alright. Yeah, I don't want to break anything, be it tool or tool. So, let's see. I need to get sorted and send my circular supercomputer board to Mr. Clay. Riveting. Alright. I guess let's put this thing back together. Actually, no. I think I'm just going to set it in front of the fan for a while. I'll put it back together later on. Because I don't want all that extra moisture in there for no reason. Especially inside the coil area. Let's actually get the fan out of the way. Come on. You can do it. Alright. Fan is out of the way. Good airflow. I can actually feel it coming out the other side of the welder. Sorry, I'm over there. Yeah, we're gonna let that go for a while. There's a little bit of dirt in here. Let's wipe that out real quick. Where the hell did the paper towels go? Did y'all take my paper towels? Oh, no. I think Trent knocked him over. Wipe that off a little bit. Oh, here's the bottom, in case anybody wanted to see it. Once again, serial number, which doesn't really matter anymore. Address, serial number, stats. That's all this shit. I'll have to look at that one day and figure out what it means. It might be important. But no, there's the, so there's that. Set that, I'm going to set that here. Kind of block the cats a little bit. That'll actually help channel some of the air if I do that. Alright, we can take care of that. There. Let's put this over here. Focus is jacked up. Properties. Video. I have autofocus turned off because it gets pretty. Let's zoom. Burp. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright. Let's clean some stuff up here. Put that there. Put it over. Put that in there. That goes here. Old. Like, I think I've had this thing for 25, 30 years. Always been an inside wrench, so it's only mildly corroded. The best wrench you can ever get. Never have to worry stripping out anything. You're always covered. Knob. That's that. Flashlight. Tea. Paper towel. Poo. Phone. Alright. Let's see. Oh. What? Did you find the transistors? Do you mean those in there? They're under a bunch of pieces that would take quite a lot of disassembly to get to, that I would rather not do, as we are, even though we are dealing with a quality product, we are still dealing with plastic that's close to 20 years old. Or like 15, about 15 years old. So I didn't want to go too far with the disassembly, as that is a very valuable asset. But we did find a heat sinks for him. What is that? That being those right there. So they're under there. There's no great way to get to them. And then there's the big ass coils that we looked at earlier that are all wet. What are we doing? Alright, sorry. Smart wrench like a left-handed hammer, absolutely. Have you used any of the wire feed welders? Yeah, I've done MIG welding, a little bit of TIG welding. I prefer arc welding because it's slightly more difficult, but you get a lot more control. Like MIG welding is good for beginners because it does the basic control for you, and all you got to worry about is your drag speed. But with arc welding, you can change the draw, you can push things around, you can slow it down, speed it up. I mostly use MIG welding if I have to do like very fine welding. It's a little easier to do that. And I've only TIG welded a couple times just to mess around with it, but I don't really need to weld TIG stuff yet. And if I do, then sometime in the future I'll just get a TIG welder and go from there. I've never taken any welding classes or anything. I'd literally just bought a book of, I think it was called Welding 1, 2, 3, Home Depot Special Guide, and just read that book, and then I started welding. I started arc welding. Oh Christ, how long ago was that? 99, 2000 something, like early 2000, 2002 maybe. One of these days I might take a class, but I'm not too worried about it. With a very hungry welder. Yeah, welding, you just gotta, if you're shit at welding, Mr. 8-Cake, you just gotta practice. If you feel you need to. You scroll around, make sure I didn't miss any too much stuff. We're alright. Scuff Dog, are there restrictions on buying welding gas in the US? No. The closest things to restrictions is you have to have your tanks inspected every 5 years. But as long as you have a good tank, I can roll up to any place and just say, fill this tank. Or I can just go up to, like, what the hell's the one that's right up the road? Alright, but like you just roll up to a gas welding shop and you can just borrow tanks of oxygen, acetylene, argon, whatever else they got. You can just roll up and grab it. There's no real restrictions that I'm aware of. Because when I need it, I just take a tank from work up, grab it, and go. So, let me do big head here since we're not doing a whole lot. Where's zoom, focus? Okay. Cancel that. Zoom looks like shit. Hold on. Or the focus looks like, yeah, okay, the focus is really high up. That's better. Sorry about that. Do that. Let's go to big head. Big head. There's big head. I don't know. What else is going on? I don't feel like messing with that battery right now. Since we didn't really need to. I can see a cam timer in the top left. Ah, right, you weren't here for that. Yes, this is from my Maytag. It, before I bent everything up, it welded the rinse contactors together in the wrong position, so it never engaged rinse as it was spinning. So I had to replace the timer, and then when I opened it up, I found all, oh wait a minute, found all burny, darkened, you know, where they were all welded together. And then earlier in the video, we broke the weld. I'm going to casually see if they sell just this piece, because that's all I need. Some of this was melted and shit, so they might, I don't know, if they don't, they don't. I mean, if this one lasted 12 years, being used almost daily, then even if that other one's half the quality, if I can get another 5 years out of it, that's pretty cool. So I'm not too worried about saving this one if finding that just this piece becomes an issue, because this whole thing's anywhere from 150 to 250 bucks. Main thing is I'm glad like it didn't catch on fire, because it did throw the breaker one time, and I'm guessing it looks like another one of the contacts may have also welded at some point, so I'm guessing that's what happens. Two of them probably welded in the wrong spot at the same time, causing ouchie ouchie. But I'm gonna say, well, fuck it, you know what? We still got time. I ain't worried about fucking saving this thing. Let's just take the rest of the support just so I can get to the motor. How's that? You let me know if you want to do that or if you just want to have a smoke and go. We can keep going and salvage the motor, or we can kind of call it a day. I'll let y'all figure it out. And while you're doing that, I'm going to grab some green crack. Yeah, they all too, but probably no. Yeah, like they probably used to sell this regularly, but since it's an old design, they probably don't anymore. But I don't care, fuck it. I'll just use it to salvage that, just to whatever. But green crack, so have some green crack. Green crack is a strong sativa. Alright, so we got a lot of plastic welded spots here. Smoke and strip, alright. Let's see. We have clips. Do we have clips? No, I don't even think there's any clips in there. We have something that just fell out. That's a piece of a contact. Let me zoom down and go little head. And I'll zoom down. Properties. Really wish there was an easier way to do the zoom. Focus. I'll bring Oh, here, let me bring the zoom box. Now that we're doing a deconstruction, it doesn't matter. Not too worried. So let's get the focus up to 40. Forward anytime, sometime, 43. That looks like shit. I'll tell you. Wait, what? Just had it. Close. That's 49. Ooh, that. 43. 37. So I do want 40. Can I get 40? 4. Up, down. Really? Can't just like make it go to 40. There we go. 40. Cool. Fuck it. Fly. Alright. Shit. Okay. Center of the box. I headbutted this shit out of everything, didn't I? Look at that. God damn. Oh, no, wait. It's because I'm zoomed in, you dumbass. Alright. Don't mind me. Alright, let's cut these plastic tabs off without cutting anything else off. Oh, and I thought it was funny that there's a tab right here. This is a broken piece. There's supposed to be a little alignment tab here. The old one, the alignment tab was missing. The new one showed up brand new in box with the tab already broke off. So apparently that was common. Like totally not necessarily, because the little tab is just the vaguest of guides before you put the screw in. So it's not needed at all, but it's funny that the new one and the old one are both broken in the same way. But the new one works fine, so. I thought it was spraying and it didn't go flying. Ooh, geary. Where does this actually... okay. Where does this actually hit the motor? That just... oh, wow, it just... does that just step? I think it just clicks it along like on an encoder wheel. Does anyone in it happen to know that for sure? Because this doesn't look like it's actually geared. It looks like they're... hold on. It looks like this... does this move? Like forward to back or something? Because there's nothing actually touching... What does this do? That does nothing with this. Scruffdog, can you make it play me? Yeah, really. Like, that's exactly what it looks like. See, now it's clicking. You can see it. See that in there? Right in here. I feel like that is the mechanism that is also being used to move it. Because that is tied into this gear system via this shaft down to this plastic piece in here. Hold on. So, yeah. Wow, overexposed to hell. You can see that down in there. I feel like this uses that arm. Yeah, because that rides right on that encoder, so it's moving the arm, not actually spinning it. It's using the arm to just basically go click, 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 to ratchet it on these two. Wow, overexposed. There we go. Fucking focus. So on these two right here, all the rest of these are chunky. And these two are the same and very fine. That arm does this with the motor. And it has two, just for redundancy and strength, but it doesn't actually spin the motor like on a gear. It uses a ratchet system. Like I'm doing here, almost like same way as a fucking brake adjuster on drum brakes. Oh shit. That's cool. Let's see if I can figure out how to make it do it, if it still is equipped to. What kind of voltage that thing takes. Oh, hold on. Let me see. That's in line. Let's see if I can just spin this by hand. I don't know how much torque it's going to take, or if there's a... there might be a lock, too. And looking at these gears... Now our focus is fucked again. Bring it down to 45 since I'm elevated. Looking at these gears, I have a feeling that there's a lot of torque involved. Let's see. That is either locked by something. That's like when you're selecting and you pull it to start, and it locks into that. There's not enough torque to spin that. That's probably why this thing spins so damn slow. Interesting. That's neat. It's a ratcheting mechanism to make it work. Huh. Just trying to see if there's a way to like manually do it. Like, does that? Ew. I just break it? Okay. What if you push that? Push down on that. I don't know. But it looks cool. Let's see. It's not the timing assembly pushes the drum and pulses, yeah. It's a weak spring thing that engages the cam. That's what broke on mine, so it would get stuck. Like a clock escapement. This is Lock Watcher. What's up, FB Normie? Tribbles off of Route 40 in Middle River probably has that part in stock and will price match. You think? That's not far. It's like a clock. I think the one keeps you from running it backwards and the other advances it, yeah. Gear motor, tough to spin up. Power up the motor. Is that 100? Do we know if that's 110 volts on these things before I disassemble it? See if I can find any markings. I think it's a 110 motor. I don't have any schematics handy dandy with me. Pretty sure it's a 110 motor. I'm pretty sure it is too. How do I have to get 110? It's not horribly inappropriate. There we go. Oh yeah, this is from, what were we using this thing on? We used it on something here a couple weeks ago. No, I do not have a Variac. That is on the holy shit cannot come soon enough list. Which is funny because my buddy that I work with was on site somewhere and saw one sitting under about 8 feet of dust and was like, hey, what's that? What are you doing with that? And the dude was like, I don't know, you want it? He's like, yeah, I'll give you $10 for it. Dude went, okay. Fucking 30 amp Variac. It's like, you mother French toastin'. Yakety schmackety. So he got the hookup. I mean, that's cool. Good for him. I can't imagine this thing takes a wallop of current, but I guess we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'll put one here. And one here. Yeah, that's good. That's kind of recessed up in there. Can I do the same thing with that? They are good and separate. That's fine. Oh, let me get my, where are we at? Can you see? Oh, you can see what's going on. Okay, where's the zoom at? Zoom's a little wonk. What are we going, 40 maybe? 42? That actually looks worse. Ooh, 57 is going to be really bad. 36 is bad. 39. We'll leave that there, I guess. Let me get my switch here. Remember, folks, do not try this at home. I am a trained idiot. Off. If you're not sure whether things are off, you could lick it, but that would probably end up being bad. And yes, this is European coloring and American coloring. It all works out. Alright, I'm just going to give it a quick on the switch, just a dink, just to see what happens, because I'd rather not, like, too much horrible shit happen in case we are wrong. Go. Remember these 2 lead cells? I'll hold that up. Alright, let's see what happens here. Oh, I think we're good. There we go. Sweet. I'm already zoomed in, ain't I? Yeah. But that's cool. It's very quiet. I guess because it doesn't... I wonder if a lot of the clicking you hear might be this. As it's dropping in and out of these outer cams. That's a nice steady motor, but yeah, look how slow. There's no way I could make that much torque with my fingers without breaking something. But let's see if... Yeah, hold on. Let me try to get this closer so we can see what's going on there. There's another box. What about back? GLA. Alright, I'm gonna get us a little closer. So that's turned off. Let's pick this up. What else we got? More filament. A little closer. Oh, that's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. Let me secure. Let me put tape on things that are important so that we don't lose things that are important. Like ground. We are not using ground. Oh well. Remember, even with these power strips, don't assume neutral is fine because that's off, because neutral could still be fucking wired weird in your house and that could still be hot. I know we're good, but just letting you know. Never assume neutral is safe. that. Everything is good there. Alright. How are we doing here? Let's move that up. Let's get this in place. That's free spin. That is engaged. Alright. So I guess something's going to happen in this area here. Let's see. Turning it on. Alright. Do I have a flashlight that is not just evil? Let's see. I don't know how long this is going to take for something to happen. So, talk amongst yourselves. I do feel like this does like go click and ratchet each time. Say that. I'm not overexposing it too much. Barely even getting light down in it. Because there's also something here on this metal bit, but I don't see where the other end of it goes. So it just clicked. I don't know what happened. Did anybody see what happened? Okay, so there's 3 pieces. Where's a pointy thing? Let me give you a slightly better viewing angle if I safely can. Let me turn this off. Tip this up. That's a little better. Let's make it so it doesn't want to fall. Secure this here. Everybody's happy. Not back on right. So let me that up a little bit. That on. There's 3 pieces. There's this piece here, which I think is anti-back. This piece is on an arm. Then there's this piece here. How you can kind of see it. Poked at the camera. Trying to see which part moves. It looked like this piece here is pulling in. So this piece must be attached to the cam. The little, that's not the anti-backwards. This must be the anti-backup. Because that pulled forward and clicked. Please wear some rubber gloves. That's only one tendon's right in there. I will stay away from that area. Ooh, sorry. Earthquake. There's nothing else moves in there but this. Let's see, which way is that pulling? Do something. Do something! I think it's about a minute between most of the clicks, which would make sense, you know, just have everything set in minute cycles. Can you see that? You can't, dumbass. How about like that? That might help. It's pushing that way. There it goes. There it goes. Click. That's a cool system. Alright. I have no real functional use for something that neat and nifty. But that's cool to see. And it's always cool, like, seeing little gears moving. I should 3D print a bunch of different colored gears and just do one of them 10-hour just watching gears go thing. Alright, what do we got here? Shooting with rubber gun, metal lever, the transfers to push. Non-free spin is for when you do settings. Yeah. Can you take cam out to get a better view? Yeah, I'll pull that out next. Yeah, I think I can slide that off. We'll see. Click. 3D print your own cam and use it for timing lights. Yeah. Let's see. Let's unplug it. Disconnect it. Alright. So that there. And let's see if we can get the cam off. Center this up a little bit, I guess. Oh, okay. Damn, that just like pops right the fuck off. There we go. Okay. Let's do that again without this then. Is that a boogie? That's just grease. Okay. Alright, let's make sure this is off. Good call there. Good call. Thank you, Brian. Give us a even better view. There. Put this there. Just tuck these under here. Those in place. That's good there. That's fine. And turning it. Woo. Not turning it on yet. I think that was fine, but let's just make sure. What is that? Just wanting, if I can. Alright. Get that more towards the center. And turning on. See what happens. I saw this bit moving here. Let's see what's moving. And that's grease, not a booger. You guys got a slightly better view than I do, damn. Nobody move. Who farted? I don't know that anything's going to click now, but I guess we'll still see the moving pieces. Yeah, this metal cam does go up into this geared area. Anything moving yet? This was the big mover before. I don't think you need this in there. Oh, you know what? This has a cone on the bottom. Do you think if that cone's there, does that move this up a little bit? Maybe? Doesn't really seem like it's doing much without that cam in it. Alright, now it's moving, it's moving. It is? Yeah, this one's moving right here. That's going out. Don't see anything else wanting to move. This isn't up, that's staying. This hasn't moved, that's loose. Oh, that is camming the metal. If I put tension on it, the metal bit starts to cam, so it is. Something in there. I don't see anywhere on here where that metal would push though. That actually sticks out the bottom when this is in place. So that's moving that. That's just pivoting around that. Yeah, I don't know. That has something to do with that. It seems like that's pushing. Because there is a... Those two are clicking on the little... I'm just calling that an encoder rings. And that one's getting pushed. That's cool. What do we got up here? Maytag has used a version of this device since the automatic washing machine was introduced. Alright. Everybody with traffic light in his garage, he's bugging me to make a timer for her. I wonder if I know who that is. Hey buddy. I was going to make a Pi Zero do it, but been busy with the boobaroo. I think I pulled the green gear off and was able to move it by hand. There's a used one for 16 bucks on eBay. Try pulling off the blue gear and turn it by hand. That one there. Alright. Let's connect everything. Let's see what we can do here. I think we're done with the power anyway. Get that unplugged. Let's see. Oh, wow, that just fucking just like tra-la-la. Like, no shit's given there. Okay. Oh, that's easy. Okay. There you go. Pushes it along. Yeah, let's see. Get something kind of more suited for spinny. Look at this. Good call on pulling the gear. That's awesome. Like, I just think that's really cool they do that instead of a direct drive. I would assume it increases durability since it's not a direct torque. And I guess it is easier just to mechanically cam it out anyway. If shit works, it works. Let me put tension on this metal bit and see what happens. Look. Locked in place. So is that meant for it to be a lock? I can't move it now. Huh. Alright, so that's cool. Would have never thought of them doing it like that. Huh. Good call. Alright, well, I always save gears just because you never know. Especially now that I have a 3D printer, sometimes gears come in pretty handy. So, let me put that back. Got the smaller screwdriver. How loose are these? Oh, these gears are just like chilling. There's even like untouched grease on this one. Well, I just touched it, but you know. Here. Like, I like how this is done. I've always liked when they do like 8 billion gears to gear reduction and torque. What is this? This looks... Guessing, is that probably a clutch maybe? Clutch-ish? Oh no, that's the link between the gears because that's splined internally. Okay. So that's this. Now that is splined inside. That's splined on the outside and inside. Little spider gear or spider joint. We call that. That's what we call it in the forklift land anyway. Usually find something like that between a hydraulic, or between an electric motor and a hydraulic pump. And more heat staking. These come out? No. See if I can get these out, because they are useful for stuff. Oh, Mark Pitt. Door interlock. No. All the door interlock does is just, you can still spin it if you lift the door up. So I don't know. Because that just ties, oh, that must be, one of these must engage that. What, like maybe, is that where that would go? That would be right there, so that would be this, that's it. That would be this little plastic tab right there. Engages this. So at some point in its cycle, it locks you out? Like locks the dial out. That's interesting. Huh. We seem to have some people who know their washing machines. Any idea which function would actually lock out the dial from twisting the dial? Oh yeah, we need to get this motor out. I think that has to do with the push to start. Let's see here, sharp stuff. Sharp stuff. Don't break. Don't break. I feel like it's going to break because I'm pushing at an angle. Alright, let's shave it. Shaving it down. Come on. It might be good enough. Let's see that really. There we go. That's fine. Very flat motor. Oh, this is actually part of the motor casing. Oh, that'll make its reusability interesting. There's this little dude. Oh. Lots of stuff, but hey, the springs didn't come flying out. That's weird. See if we can help that. Just break that tab, and that spring should go flying directly into my face. Face! Or not. A-tag plastics, like, nope. Be good. I got a spring too. Spring. Where's another? Oh, I wonder if this spring will work. Because the spring in here is gone. I wonder if that would work as a replacement. Interesting. Alright, so we got a motor, we got plastic stuff and junk and stuff. And various gears. Not a bad haul. There's a spring over here too. Thought I heard a cat. I apparently was mistaken. How do you get this spring out? Let's see. Is the little guy in there? What do you got to break to get that out? Let's see, if I pull that way, I'll crush the spring, which will get me nowhere. See if I can do this without nipping my fingers. Get that. Ooh. That's that. Oh no, that's not a cat, that's me leaning on my bench. Okay. Know that it's hooked. Oh, there we go. There we go. Extraction. That looks like one off of like a pen. Oh, oh, and now that falls out. Trash. Alright. Okay, folks. Let's, what we got here? Pancake motor, huh? Asynchronous clock motor. Boing spring, Mr. Furrier. Of all top-loading machine washes, Maytag's engineering is different, especially the transmission. Yeah, I had to replace the transmission in that a few years ago. With a seal blew out the bottom of it. Wasn't too bad to do, it just took time. And the new one's a torquier one, so there's a little less spin. But I'd prefer that. It's just a couple teeth off, but it's thicker teeth, you know, better gearing now, so that's always nice. So let's clean up and have a puff. Where are we going for focus here? 27. Do that. We'll click OK. Oh, wait. Zoom out. Oh yeah, I messed with the camera earlier. And let's get that out of the way. Trash. Alright everybody, let's see here. Oop. This is the pop mechanism. That is complicated as hell. Dum. Make two. Why is that? There was a weird echo for some reason. One of my other microphones was on. So that's trash. That's trash. That we're keeping. That's. I'm gonna keep that for a minute just because it looks neat. But if I don't find something to do with it, it will go away soon enough. Trash, steak, heat steak, lots of heat steak nubs. Alright, let's go to Big Head. Big Head intro. Alright. How's the focus? Is fucking horrible. Why does focus always seem like it changes? Properties down, configure video, camera control, focus. For some reason went back to 45. Oh, that's better. Why? Okay. Wonder if that changed because of the scene I went to. Maybe I clicked cancel instead of okay. I don't know. But let's have some tea. We'll have a vape and then we'll call it a day. Because as usual, these things seem to last about 2 hours. And then I have to pee and take care of some things. So, alright, so the welder that I'll just put back together later on tonight once it's dry. And all this other stuff will be sorted into the bins that you've seen before over there. So let's have a vape. Where are you at? There you are. Let's have a vape before we go. And you're welcome, Rifleman. Thank you for stopping by. Lockwatcher says, once again, fun as usual. I try. Is it over or under engineered if the springs don't ping Gas Masher? Probably over engineered, because it does add a bit of a challenge to the technician when they have to find a spring that small that flew 15 feet. Kind of like a challenge thing. So, cheers, Sour Tsunami. You're welcome to everybody saying thank you, and thank you, of course, for stopping by. So next week we will probably be flying somewhere, weather pending. I have no idea where, as usual. I'll figure it out at the last second. Guess that's about it. I'll keep you updated as we go, and maybe I'll throw a short out sometime this week with some woofling. Maybe I'll go woofle at work a little bit, scare the shit out of everybody or something. Anyway, thank you everyone, and you guys have a good evening. Let's go over to my streaming software, and that's right, yeah. This is just annoying to stop, because if I stop streaming here, it also tells that to end the stream. Oh yeah, there's my wooflers. Alright, well, I'm just going to stop it this way then, see what happens. So, thanks again everybody, see you next week, and have a groovy rest of your weekend and a good week. Thank you.